Thank you for joining us today for the Springfield Business and Economic Review. I'm your host, Sarah Wolin with the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce. Today we have with us Brent Radke. Brent is with the Young Springfield Professionals Network, in which he serves as president, and is also working with Horace Mann Companies. Thanks for joining us today, Brent.
Thank you, Sarah, for having me.
So tell me a little bit about YSPN. What is it and what's going on with it? What does it stand for?
Well, it stands for the Young Springfield Professionals Network. What it is, it's a project that was developed by Leadership Springfield, which is a program of the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce. And we developed a project to form a young professionals network here in the Springfield community to kind of bring young professionals together, help them network, help create better retention in the workforce as well for younger professionals in the area.
Well, neat. Now, is this something that other communities across the nation are doing, or is this just here in Springfield?
No, this is a trend that's going across the nation right now. There are several in communities such as Milwaukee that have memberships upwards of over thousands of members now and have experienced phenomenal growth.
Wow.
And they're seeing great retention numbers with their younger professionals because of these organizations. So we're hoping that what this will do the same thing for Springfield, what it has done for those other communities that have done this.
Well, that sounds great. Now, you talk about it had recently started. When did this project get off the ground and running?
We actually started back in, our kickoff was November of last year, which is 2006. And we actually started working together and putting the works together in June of '06 at the end of our Leadership Springfield class.
Okay. And so then it actually started off programming-wise then in November. So it's just over a year old now.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's been a successful year.
Yes, it's been a great year for us. We've had a lot of successful events, and our membership has continued to grow. We're upwards of 200 members now.
Wow.
So we are experiencing that success.
So for all those people who are around Springfield who say, oh, there's no young professionals, there's no one else out there, you're telling me that there's 200 of them gathered together for this group that they could join in on.
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
That sounds great. What you mentioned that there's 3 different areas in which you do programming around. What are those areas, and what are some of those things you're doing?
We work, one of our major areas is networking, which of course is just basically to get people out, get them connected, get them to know each other, create those friendship type of bonds or just even affiliation bonds.
Okay.
Then we also have professional development events, which are designed to maybe provide a little further education into an area where someone may not have known before. Like we had a tax seminar back in January that provided more personal insights into your own personal taxes. And we're planning some other events in the future. And our third area is community service.
Okay.
And what we do there is, at least we try to on a monthly basis have at least one community service event that is just we send out to the membership, here's a time and a place that we're going to get together and do this. If you'd like to join us or looking for a way to get involved, here you go. It's not something that we focus on to the extent of some of our events every month, but we do try to encourage at least a couple of major community service events throughout the year where we try to get upwards of the 50 to 100 members we tend to draw at events at one of those events.
Well, that sounds very exciting. So it sounds like you have the 3 different areas, networking, professional development, and community service, that you rotate between those 3. So there's a variety of things for young professionals. Now, do those 200 members you mentioned, are they required to go to any of these events? Is there requirements for that?
Oh, no. The membership is just strictly to get some of our events. We have different rates for members. Some events are member exclusive. So that's one of the benefits to the membership, but all of our events are open to any members, and with membership, there's no requirement that you attend any number of events.
Well, I was going to say, I know young professionals, I look at my calendar, it's full. So if you tell me I have to do something, I don't get excited about that. So I like the fact that you say it's of interest. What's of interest you can go to.
Yeah, because I know we have a specific group of people that I believe we're just looking for ways to get involved with community service. And to them, the monthly activities we hold are the perfect outlet for them. It fulfills what they need. Well, then other people are looking for more ways just to meet other people in a networking setting. And so our networking events obviously provide the outlet for them. So.
Well, great. And you mentioned membership. Is there a fee associated with that for membership?
Yes, there is a $25 fee for membership, which basically helps offset some of our costs for operating the organization, because we do have some administrative costs, and we do try to provide some other things to our members. Like I mentioned, some of our events are free to members, but a small fee to non-members, and so we use that fee to kind of work on those.
$25, that's taking someone out for lunch or something. So
yeah.
it won't break the bank for young professionals.
Yeah, we wanted to keep it small, so it would be something that, well, $25. I mean,
Right.
$25 to become a
Give it a
member for
try.
the year. Yeah.
Not
so.
hard. Now, if someone's interested in membership, how do they go about signing up or getting involved with the organization?
Several ways to get signed up, get involved. We try to post all of our events on the website, which is www.ypspringfield.org.
Okay.
And through the website, you can sign up for membership or just see a roster of our events or sign up just to get our notices. We email out notices generally twice a month. And from our notices, we'll tell you what events are going on. At all of our events, we always have membership forms. You can come out to an event just to learn more and just see the event. Or if you go to the event and like it, go ahead and grab a membership form and sign up there.
Great.
We try to post some of our other information, bigger events, and other media outlets as well to try to make sure there's a broad coverage of our events so that everybody has a chance to see what we're doing or try to get involved or just know that we're out there. So it's an option for them.
It sounds like it's very inclusive. You know,
Oh, yes.
anyone can join in. How about it's the young professionals? Is there anyone that's included or excluded from either the young part of it or the professional part of that?
No, the only thing that is excluded is you have to be at least 21 years of age because at some of our events we do provide alcoholic beverages. So just to keep things a little safer, we do say that you have to be 21 to join the organization, but there's no limits on how old, how young, other than the 21. Professional is one's own state of mind.
I like that. And that's true because I think there's a lot of different ways to be a professional, whether it's having a small business at home or whether it's in a school environment or a business environment or whether you have, you practice law or medicine. I mean, whatever it is, there's so many different ways that individuals can express that. So I think that's great. You also mentioned the age thing, and it sounds like there isn't an upper age limit. So anyone who's interested in young professionals and furthering their advancement and growth, I think it's a great opportunity then for them also, it sounds like, to get involved.
Yeah.
HR department, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, there's several people that have said, well, I thought typically young would mean under 40. And as a matter of fact, 2 of our founding 6 members were over the age of 40. So that's kind of my response to anybody who has that question is, well, young is your state of mind. Professional is your state of mind. We're very inclusive. So, I mean, come on out.
I think it's a great thing because one thing you mentioned earlier was retention of young professionals in our community for businesses and connecting them with others, because I think a lot of young professionals, when they come to a community, they don't know what to do. How do I meet other young professionals? How do I get connected? I think it sounds like it's a great outlet for that.
Yeah, and that's kind of the idea, is also with the newer people to the area that came here for a job, possibly out of college, make sure they have ways of finding what they can do on a Saturday night if they just don't want to go out by themselves or they're feeling like they don't have much to do. I mean, we're trying to get our word out there so even employers can know, hey, if I have a new young employee to town, they don't know too many people.
Right.
Let's get them out there. We have this network out there that they can get involved in, meet some people, and create increased personal life. I mean, would create better job satisfaction and, like you said, improve the retention.
Happy employees are good employees, aren't
yes.
they? We want our employees happy. So that sounds like a great avenue. You talked about a variety of events that YSPN has put on for young professionals in this community. What are some of those, let's start with, for instance, professional development. What are some of the professional development activities that have taken place or that are planned for the future?
Well, as of right now, so far to date, we've had 2 professional development events. Like I mentioned, one was the tax seminar, which was basically an insight into your personal taxes, where you might not be catching different change in the regulations, or because obviously we all know those change from year to year. So
they do.
Sometimes it's hard to keep up. So we did that last year. Right now, I don't know if we're slated to do that this year or not. We're just trying to get a feel for it.
The other one people are interested in.
Yeah, the other one we did this past year was regarding financial advisors and your personal finances. Just kind of make sure you know what the market's doing out there. It was kind of an ethics lesson as well about ethics with financial advisors. And so that was informative.
Great topics for young professionals to learn about, both of those.
Yes,
sounds great.
Very informative. So, and as far as in the future, what we plan on doing right now is at least we're looking to eventually survey the membership, because we want to be sure we're providing what our membership needs. I mean, it's very easy for 8 or 9 of us on the board to sit back and say, here, we think this is what you need, but we'd much rather do a survey and say, what are you interested in? What do you want to learn more about that you're not getting from your employer, or you don't think your employer is going to provide? And which, in all cases, it's not their place to provide all of this. That's why we're here to provide that extra out-of-the-box type professional development they may want.
Well, it sounds like it's an organization for young professionals, but it's also run by young professionals then, and the membership's involved with it, so it's not someone, some big shot from out of town telling them what to do or anything. It's really local young professionals here.
Yes, it's our like I said, our board is made up of about 8 to 10 young professionals. We're an affiliate of the Chamber of Commerce, so we do have some responsibility to them, but they have been very supportive of us and basically kind of let us take care of all the operations ourselves, and they've been happy with the programming.
That independence.
Yes.
Very good. So, okay, so that's a little about the professional development. Another avenue you mentioned was community service. What are some community service type activities that have taken place?
Community service, we actually are completing our second trivia night. We did that last year, and that has been a way to just kind of raise money that we can give to a charity, local charity here. We've also had, we did a school drive for art supplies to help provide supplies to the schools. We did a night golf to help keep the lights on at Sojourn, because I know they have very high monthly electric bills to keep their facilities going, and so we did a night golf, lots of fun, lots of people came out, and we raised enough money to help them keep the lights on for an extra month to help offset their costs. And so that's been the majority of our focus. We've also done like I said, the smaller events. One of them was Ronald McDonald House. We did a cleaning there. I'm trying to remember.
Meals on Wheels drive. I think I heard about that.
Yes, we did a Meals on Wheels drive.
Did that.
Yeah.
So it sounds like there's many activities that you can do to really get hands-on involvement on local organizations. And then there's also other ways that young professionals can come together and financially then support local community organizations.
Yes, because I mean, when I was in the Leadership Springfield class that helped develop this, one of the things that I was surprised about is how many different ways there are to get involved in the community. I mean, prior to this, I really knew there were opportunities out there, didn't know how to find them, didn't know how I was supposed to get involved in them. And that was kind of one of our realizations, is we got to find a way to make sure people know if they want to get involved or want to help out. I mean, at the very least, come see us, or we'll send you out monthly information and let you know how you can get involved if you want to help out.
Well, that sounds wonderful. The other avenue you said was networking, was the third area in which you have programming. And what are some of those networking type events that you've done during this past year in 2007?
Specific networking events, we did have a Mardi Gras night in February this past year.
Sounds fun.
We also did an independent film festival, which was a lot of fun as well. You see, both events were both just things that we tried to get out of the box, different things that might draw different crowds of the young professionals out. Fill the void. We also had a membership appreciation evening back in August, which Springfield Business Journal was kind enough to provide us with the beverages, and then we covered the cost on some food and just brought all the members out and said, hey, just come out and
have
network,
fun,
socialize, have a little after-hour time, and so that was well received as well. So.
Well, it sounds like there's a variety of areas. You mentioned there are a couple of events I know that jump up higher on what I would be interested in as a young professional, but I'm sure others that are higher on other people's lists. So it sounds like it's a very diverse programs for young professionals to get involved in. So that sounds great.
Yeah.
So looking forward then through the rest of 2008, what are some of the programs or activities you're hoping to either repeat from 2007 or new ones that you have to roll out in 2008?
Well, in 2008, there are a couple different things we've started to look at. We're kind of looking toward doing a Cubs Cards game or just some kind of Cardinals game down in St. Louis. We're still in the works on that. We don't know if we're going to be able to do that yet or what the details are, but if not next year, maybe the year after. But that's something that we think would interest the group of people we have.
Sounds like a road trip.
Yep. I think we're going to try to do possibly another film festival again next year, because we got a lot of good feedback from the members that attended that. They thought it was just a great time and a great idea.
So tell me more about this film fest. For people who have never been to one, they might not really understand what goes on at that. I mean, does it last for a week? Does it last for a day?
Different film festivals have different takes on how they run. Ours was meant to be simply just a single evening, couple hours of your time, come out and just see a variety of short films. Ours primarily focused on comedies, and they were from all across the United States, and there's even, I believe, 1 or 2 independent foreign films that made their way into it. But it was a great time. It was, I think we showed about an hour 15 worth of short films, took a little intermission, let people mingle, get some drinks, have fun. Brought them back, did another maybe hour's worth of film, and then at the end of the night, we just had everybody turn in a ballot on which movie they liked the best, and just crowned ourselves the champion.
Well, there you go. Again, that's something that probably wasn't going on here. A simple one night, come out and enjoy some food and fun and film, that probably wasn't here in the past. So it's something the young professionals were able to bring, and it sounds like it was a success.
Yes, it was a great time.
Well, that sounds great. What other things do you have looking forward to 2008?
2008, we're probably going to be repeating our trivia night again because that's getting
2
ready.
years of success on that.
2 years of success, and so, I mean, obviously people responded, they enjoy it, so we're going to do it again.
Now, do you have to be a high-level trivia expert for those? What level of trivia knowledge is required, shall I say?
The only thing that's really required is that you want to have some fun.
Okay, I can handle that.
Everybody at different levels of knowledge will find themselves challenged because the trivia questions and categories really come just from all over the place.
Great.
You never know what the question's going to be. It could have been the color of the floor at the municipal building, or it could be something Seinfeld question from this episode, or it could just be show you a picture of Springfield and what is this place. And
okay, so nonetheless, though, be ready for fun and you'll succeed at that.
Yeah, everybody has a great time.
All right, so looking at a potential bus trip for networking to get together and see a sporting event, a film fest, also redoing a trivia night. Any other plans for 08?
I believe we're going to be repeating our night golf again because that was yet another event that was very well received.
Okay, I'm sorry to ask this again. Night golf, tell me more about that.
Night golf is kind of a different twist on your traditional golf.
I would say.
You tee off at twilight, and you get glow-in-the-dark golf balls. Everybody gets a glow-in-the-dark necklace or some kind of glow-in-the-dark attachment to put on their person so that they can be spotted. Yeah. And then basically it's a scramble format. We just play 9 holes. Since you're starting so late at night, you just want to play 9 holes.
Yeah, we're not going till 3 a.m. with that, are we?
No, that's a little too late for even some of us younger ones.
Yeah.
And but we do a scramble format. Everybody has glow-in-the-dark balls. We put glow-in-the-dark tubes on the flag sticks. We put luminaries around the golf course so you know where the green's at, where the walking paths are at. And everybody just kind of goes out and has a good time. And again, it's not something you have to be a great golfer.
Yeah.
It's just if you know how to have fun, and it probably wouldn't hurt to have one person in the group who's a decent golfer to at least carry the team.
Okay, but if it's a scramble, they don't all have to be.
Yep, no.
Don't all have to be. And you mentioned earlier that that was a fundraiser for Sojourn Shelter. So I think that's great that, I mean, it was a night of fun and young professionals were able to come together and meet each other and have entertainment, but at the same time we're able to help out the community they live in. And I think so often we hear about, oh, those young people aren't doing anything or, you know, they're just lazy or something. And this is just a great example. A lot of things you've mentioned here, the trivia night, the night golf, the school supply drive, those are all things that have helped our community, and young business professionals have been able to come together and do that. So I think that's great. I commend you.
Yeah, I mean, we've been fortunate enough to have, besides the chamber giving us their support and the membership fees, we have a couple of corporate sponsors that have been kind enough to help support the organization. We have Hanson Professional Services, Illinois National Bank, and American General. They've been kind enough to help sponsor us so that when we do events like this, everything we raise can go toward the organization we're trying to raise money for, and not come back and worry about having to take care of our administrative costs.
Yeah, that's great. And you know, those local businesses should be commended because they are then showing their support for young professionals in our community. And I think that that's very admirable because I think young professionals are our future here for the business community, and the more of that we can have active and staying in our community, then the better off we'll be with that. Well, that's great. Anything else you have when you're looking forward to 08 that's already set in stone?
Nothing that's set in stone. I mean, we've kind of thrown some different ideas out there. I know paintball trip was thrown out there.
Yeah.
We'll see how that works out. I think that'd be fun. I don't think it'd serve the broad group. I think there's a small group of individuals that it would serve.
I think so. The active group that is ready to be bombarded with
ready to come home with welts on their arms.
Okay. I'm glad you're meeting those needs.
And then, but primarily I know we're going to be working on doing a survey of the membership next year. That way we truly can find out what are their interests, what are you seeing that we're doing that you like, what do you see that's not being done in Springfield that would be, do you think would be fun for young professionals to get together and do? We're trying to be very open with it. I mean, those of us on the board know that we're on the board to help run these events, but we know we're not the ones that can make the decisions for everybody else out there. We want to know what they want so we can make this a success.
Well, it sounds great because, I mean, like you said, bringing all those people together and doing whatever it is those activities are that's of interest to them is wonderful. And it really roots them here then in our community so they're more apt to stay.
Yeah.
I know one of my first jobs when I came to town, I looked around, I was the only one that didn't have grandchildren in my office. And I thought, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? So an organization like this really helps connect you to other young professionals who
Oh, yeah.
also don't have grandchildren, and so then you can connect and feel more grounded here in our community. You are a working young professional in our community. You work at Horace Mann Companies, correct?
Yes.
What do you do at Horace Mann, and what's it like working there as a young professional?
I'm an analyst in their marketing department.
Okay.
Right now doing a lot of sales planning, but working there, it's actually quite neat because there's a lot of young professionals there, more than I thought would be when I first started going there, or first started working there. So they've been very supportive of me coming out and doing my role as in YSPN. So I've been nothing but happy with them and their support of this, and I find them to be very supportive of community efforts as well.
That's very good, and we're so glad and grateful to have companies such as Horace Mann here in our community who are showing their support and are helping making it well for young professionals to find that balance of giving back to their community, keeping their work life, and also their personal life. So I think that's great, and kudos to Horace Mann for that. Are there any challenges as just a young working professional that you've faced here in our community, or that you think, or you've heard others are facing in our community, or complaints or issues or challenges?
I have heard, and I somewhat witnessed a little bit myself when I was first starting out, but it seemed like in Springfield, a lot of it was getting to know people carries your career further than just working hard on your own. Because working on your own is important, but it seemed to be a lot about knowing the people that made the decisions, that were in charge, getting out there, getting involved in different activities so that you could meet more influential people, or
that whole networking.
Get your name known. And so the networking, I mean, right from the beginning of my career, I noticed was going to be a necessary part of trying to move forward in my career as a professional. So
and it sounds like no better way then to get involved in that networking than to get involved in YSPN, right? There's a great plug for it. But I think you're right. A lot of people who move into the community, I know you're from Springfield, correct?
Yes.
And so there can be challenges with that, but it's also people who are from Springfield, even who are entering the professional workforce. I mean, even there you were mentioning there's a shift where you have to start re-networking.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of local, just from what I've seen and people I know, but the local people who grow up locally and enter the professional job market tend to avoid some of the networks at times unless they know someone they grew up with that's in the kind of business professional network area, be it the chamber, be it Young Springfield Professionals Network. Unless they know someone there, they tend to shy away from those and stick with their previous group of contacts. And I guess this was kind of a way to maybe say, well, let's get you on out and just meet some other young professionals and some other people your age, find some common interests, and get you involved in the professional networking. And
yeah, well, that sounds great. Any other challenges or issues you've heard around from others, or?
Not that I can think of.
So it sounds like we're doing pretty good here in Springfield then. So if someone does want to get involved in YSPN beyond their involvement in coming to events, you talked about the board. I assume there's some committee involvement in there. Are there opportunities for individuals who want to really step up and get heavily involved?
Yeah, we're always looking for people that want to step up and help out. We have several different committees. Most of our major events, we have a committee just for the event to help the planning. Because most of these events, because we're all professionals, we all have a lot of job responsibilities. Yeah. I mean, we
can't do it all.
Yeah. I mean, take the events, we'll try to spread it kind of thin among a large group of people, and that way it's easier for them to get done. So yes, we're always looking for more people to join on committees, help out with events. Anything they want to do, we want to get. If someone wants to be involved, we don't want to discourage that. We want them to be able to get involved.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
And you mentioned a couple of different ways earlier. You talked about professional development. Maybe that's where someone has an interest in, or the community service component of it. Maybe that's where the interest is. The other events you mentioned, you said they have a committee also where people can get involved in?
For our major networking events or our larger events like the night golf, the trivia night.
Okay.
Excuse me. They all have their own committees.
Okay.
That and there's no limit on the size of committees. It's just up to whoever that committee chairman is, how many they want to have on their committee. Because we want to be sure everybody on the committees does have something they can do, so we don't want to get too many on the committee.
We want to meet just for the sake of meeting.
Yeah.
Well, and that's a great thing you brought up earlier about being involved, having young professionals get engaged, become active. This is an easy way where they can start to take a leadership role, learn that, and become intimately involved with a group of people and putting on an event to make a difference.
Yeah, and typically in the past when we've had any board openings, we've looked to our active committee people to fill those board openings.
Well, that
So
sounds
that's
great.
if you're eventually wanting to work your way into a board. I mean, I know your business is like that as well. So showing that you're active and involved, come on, help on a committee, and eventually you might work your way onto the board.
That's a great avenue. And again, you mentioned it's open to anyone. So
Yes.
there's no requirements. You don't have to be a specialty at something. You don't have to be an expert in night golf. I'm sure there's not very many of them out there. You just have to have an interest in helping out, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So good. So a variety of activities. Requirements for membership are just the 21 and over.
Yeah.
Correct. Anything else you want to share about the organization for people who are interested or might have questions about it?
Just again, the website, www.ypspringfield.org,
Okay.
is where you find out plenty of information about the organization. Again, I encourage everyone to come out to an event and just come out and see what the event's like, talk to the different people there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Have fun.
Yeah, have fun. If there's something that you'd like to see done differently or a different event that you think would be a great idea, I mean, let us know. By all means, like I said, we want to know what the young professionals want to do.
And it encourages them to then get involved with that
Yes.
also.
So, I mean, you may come to us with a new idea, and we may decide that's a great idea for a major
go.
event. Maybe we even invite you on to come on and help out with that event and be a board member with it. I mean, no one knows. It's just we're not as rigid with our structure. I mean, we're a very laid back board. We operate pretty easily, and I don't know. We just look for different ideas and different ways to get things done because we just have a goal, and we're just working on trying to achieve that goal. That goal is to get young professionals in the area involved in networking, community service, and professional development, and which benefits the greater Springfield community and whatever.
It really does.
Yeah, and just looking for ways to get to that end result is what we're trying to do.
It really is. You mentioned it benefits the greater Springfield community. It really is a service to them to engage their young professionals so they are enjoying their life here and having a great time here. So it's a great service. So thank you for your involvement and your leadership in making that happen for all those young professionals. We appreciate it.
Oh, thanks.
One more time, if someone's interested, can you say that website for me?
It's www.ypspringfield.org.
All right, so if you're interested in learning more about the Young Springfield Professionals Network or interested in joining the Young Springfield Professionals Network, please feel free to log on and check out more information online. Again, thank you for joining us for the Springfield Business and Economic Review. I'm your host, Sarah Wolin, and I hope you have a wonderful day.